In addition to the freight forwarder, whose definition, rights and obligations are provided at Article 1737 to 1740, the Italian Civil Code rules at Article 1741 that the freight forwarder, under certain circumstances, may have a liability as a carrier and be treated as such. The difference between a mere freight forwarder and a freight forwarder and carrier is very important, for the reason that the latter has the same rights and obligation of the carrier, and as a consequence is required to grant the proper execution of the carriage, and is as well responsible for any loss or damage to the goods. A mere freight forwarder, on the contrary, has to fulfill an obligation of means and is responsible for failing to conclude the contract of transport and to carry out any other ancillary service which may have been requested by its principal, and is as well responsible for any fault in selecting a suitable carrier. Although the distinction between these two capacities in theory appears to be quite clear, the border in the commercial practice is not always that clear. Italian jurisprudence has focused on providing some criteria to identify in which cases Article 1741 is applicable. Among these criteria, the following may be identified in brief. The freedom of the freight forwarder in the organization of the transport, in selecting the means of transportation and the itinerary to carry the goods to destination. The issuing by the freight forwarder of the documents of transport. And the lump sum as remuneration for the freight forwarder, rather than a breakdown on the single items for the services rendered by the freight forwarder. It is a well-established principle by our court's precedents that the judge has to carry out an effective investigation on all factual circumstances of the matter, considering together all factual items, such as the presence of only one of the above-mentioned criteria is not enough for Article 1741 to be applied.